What if I told you that the annoying ringing in your ears, that tinnitus the VA rated you for, might actually be connected to other medical conditions that can boost your rating? Today we're diving into the top 5 conditions linked to tinnitus that you didn't know about. Now, these are real secondary conditions that many veterans overlook, and missing them could mean missing out on a higher combined rating or even qualifying for that 100 club. So if your ears won't stop ringing, stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for in your file and what to talk about at your next CMP exam. Number 2 and number 1, they're both conditions I'm pretty sure you may not know about, and it could put you closer to that 100 club. But do me a favor, help me help you. I realize you can just skip to the end, find out what the 5 conditions listed are, but the real meat of helping me help you is what is being said, not what is written. So give me 15 minutes or less, and I'll give you enough information to put you closer to or in that 100 club. I'm Mr. X. I'm the guy behind the guy, giving you all the information you want to know and need to know about the VA claims process. And this is the VA Top 5. Coming in at number 5, insomnia or sleep disturbances. Look, it's hard enough falling asleep sometimes when your mind won't shut off, right? But try doing it when your ears won't either. Now, many veterans with tinnitus often report trouble falling asleep, waking up at multiple times during the night, and or feeling exhausted during the day. Here's the kicker. The VA recognizes that sleep disturbances can be secondary to tinnitus. This means that you can actually claim insomnia as a secondary condition if your ringing directly impacts your sleep. Now, keep in mind, though, that insomnia or like an insomnia disorder, now under the VA rating schedule, it cannot be rated separately from your tinnitus if granted as secondary to your tinnitus. So if you claim it as secondary to tinnitus, it can't be rated as 2 separate conditions. It can only be one condition. Now, in your service treatment records, if you were seen in service for sleep issues, anything sleep related or sleep adjacent, symptoms, complaints of sleep, then that could qualify you for this grant to be given on a direct basis. Because at that point, if you claim insomnia or sleep disturbances as secondary to tinnitus, if you show them that, hey, in your service treatment records, I was seen on this date for sleep issues, complaint of sleep, then they can go and ask if this was the early signs or symptoms of insomnia, and or this could be related to something like sleep apnea as well. So the next time you tell your doctor, I can't sleep because my ears won't stop ringing, make sure that it's written in the record, because that's evidence. That's not complaining. So your tinnitus can lead to insomnia, can lead to sleep disturbances, sleep apnea as well. File a claim for it if you're not service connected. And if you do, point out those sleep issues, sleep symptoms, anything sleep related that occurred in service to them. That way they can go and ask the examiner to give you a nexus for it, at which point you could be service connected. So, number 5, tinnitus relating to insomnia, sleep disturbances, and or other sleep conditions. Number 4, anxiety and or depressive disorder. Let's be honest. Constant ringing in your ears would drive anyone a little bit crazy. Many veterans develop anxiety, irritability, or even depression from tinnitus because it never lets up. It's like having a mosquito buzzing next to your head 24/7. Here's the important part. Mental health conditions secondary to tinnitus are some of the most underrated claim boosters. Okay. The VA can rate your depression or anxiety separately if it's caused by or aggravated by your tinnitus. Now that can add an easy 30, 50, 70% rating depending on the severity of the anxiety and or depression. So if your tinnitus is stressing you out, maybe it's time you let the VA pay for that stress. Okay, so if you have anxiety symptoms, depression, depressive symptoms, then they absolutely could be related to your service-connected condition of tinnitus. That ringing drives me up the wall. Number 3, migraine or headache disorder. Have you ever noticed how your headaches come on stronger when your tinnitus spikes? Now, that's not a coincidence. The auditory and neurological symptoms are connected, meaning tinnitus can trigger or worsen migraine episodes. And here's the wild part. The VA does rate migraines separately, and migraine ratings can range from 0 to 10, 30, or even up to 50%, depending on how often they're prostrating. Okay? Now, when I say prostrating, that's not your prostate, okay? I can't even say it right now. Prostrating. It's a fancy VA word for so bad that you cannot function. Okay. Now, if you're talking to a doctor or looking it up in the dictionary, I'm sure it would be, it'd give you a long, drawn out explanation of exactly what it means. But essentially, if your migraines are so bad that you have to go into that dark room, you have to close your eyes, it has to be temperature controlled, it has to be cooler, you can't have any noise, all that stuff. Now, that would be a prostrating attack. Okay. Now, depending on how often you have those is the determining factor of if you're going to be assigned a 0, 10, 30, or 50% rating. If you have them often enough, let's say once or twice a month, to the point where that then affects your ability to work because you have to go lie down, close the door, turn out the lights. If it's at that level, then that's going to be at the 50% mark. Okay. So if you get chronic headaches or migraines, especially since your tinnitus started, get it documented. Okay. Because that could be the key to the link of a higher combined rating. Now, up until this point, I'm sure none of these first 3 have really been all that shocking. Most people know about the insomnia, know about the migraines. Okay. Now, number 2, hypertension. Yeah, that's right. High blood pressure. Studies have shown that tinnitus and hypertension are often found together. The stress from tinnitus can elevate your blood pressure, and elevate blood pressure can actually make your tinnitus worse. So they kind of go hand in hand almost. Now, here's why this matters. If your tinnitus is service connected and your doctor can show that your high blood pressure was caused or even aggravated by the stress or by the sleep disruption from the tinnitus, then you could qualify for hypertension. Now, I know what many of you are probably thinking right now. Oh, hypertension, great, another 0% rating. Well, it's more than that. Okay? Hypertension, if left untreated or even over the long term, can lead to other bigger issues like heart disease, kidney issues, renal failure, chronic kidney disease. There's all sorts of conditions that could be related to hypertension. And most, if not all of them, are going to be rated higher than the 0 to 10%. For the heart disease alone, if it's related to hypertension, it can be up to 100% for that alone. So, hypertension's no joke. I know oftentimes it's rated at a 0, but that 0 comes with some teeth. And finally, number 1, temporomandibular joint dysfunction. Okay? Often sometimes called TMJ, TMD, all kind of the same thing. This one surprises a lot of veterans because TMJ is a jaw disorder that causes pain when you chew, yawn, or clench your teeth. It can also impair you from opening your mouth very wide or wide enough to eat, to drink, to do all sorts of things. Now, the jaw and the ear, they share nerve pathways, meaning that they can be related. So if you've got a jaw clicking, stiffness, or ear pain that started around the same time as your tinnitus, then that's a red flag. And a secondary claim opportunity could prove that. TMJ absolutely is rated separately from tinnitus And depending on how severe the symptoms are, to show the limitation of the range of motion of the jaw, then this could be rated at 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 50%. Now, combine that with your tinnitus, and suddenly that single ringing in your ear is pulling some serious weight. Now, you combine tinnitus, which is at 10, combine that with all the other conditions that we've talked about here today, whether that's a sleep disorder, whether that's sleep apnea, a depressive disorder, migraines, headaches, that hypertension, heart disease from there, that 10% rating of tinnitus could spider out, could branch out into 4, 5, 7 different conditions that could easily put you in the 100 club. So there you have it, the top 5 conditions linked to tinnitus that you didn't know about. Now, a couple of them I'm sure you probably already did. Okay, 5, 4, and 3, you probably had a decent idea. Hypertension and TMD, maybe not. Okay, drop me a comment if you knew about all 5. Okay. Also, one thing you can do, if you have tinnitus, don't just stop there. Check your medical records. Talk to your doctor and see if any other conditions that you're currently suffering from could be related to your tinnitus. Okay. As always, thank you for watching, and remember, don't let the ringing stop you from getting what you've earned. As always, do me a favor though. If you watch this video and felt like I gave you an idea of which claim you're going to file next, that could be related to your tinnitus, then you owe me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment if your ears are still ringing. Also, do those YouTube things. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more no-fluff VA claim tips broken down with a little humor and some honesty. I'm Mr. X. Thanks for being with me. This is the VA Top 5.